Now, you will notice that Michkov's name is going to be out there a lot this summer, and for a whole bunch of reasons. But first and foremost, we have to get to some unfinished business, to some unresolved anger that a lot of people who spent the season watching Matvei Michkov are probably feeling right now. And that most notably is the results of the Calder Trophy vote. Now, for those who might have missed it, Lane Hutson's the guy that everybody pretty much expected to win the Calder. He's a defenseman. He put up 66 points. He was the darling of the Canadiens. And if we know one thing about many of the voters for NHL awards, they tend to favor Canadian players. And there is some weird fascination with the Québécois, about les habitants. And so Lane Hutson, the darling of the voters, wins the Calder Trophy in an absolute bloodbath. I mean, like, it wasn't even close. Now, I'll show you the standings here. So Lane Hutson, I'm going to take the comments down here too. Lane Hutson gets 165 of the available first place votes. 165 of the first place votes. Okay, fine. Dustin Wolf of Calgary gets 15 of those first place votes. You go, all right, rookie goalie, put up a really nice season. 15 first place votes. That's interesting, but okay. Another Canadian player. Celebrini entered the season as the favorite to win the Calder. Through much of the season was viewed as a front runner or one of the top two to probably win the Calder. He gets 11 first place votes. Oh, Matvei Michkov. I don't know if you heard about him. Matvei Michkov, a really good forward for the Philadelphia Flyers, a very talented forward for the Philadelphia Flyers, a guy who led rookies in goals and power play goals and a lot of other important metrics. Matvei Michkov, does he finish number 1, number 2, or number 3? He does not. He finishes 4th, and it's a distant 4th. If we're being fair, he got nearly 3x'd on total points, total voting points. He nearly got 2x'd by Celebrini, which is also like total bullshit and honestly kind of embarrassing. But you look at it and you have to do the breakdown here on points, but 165 votes for Hutson, 15 for Wolf, 11 for Celebrini. They're the only 3 players to get a first place vote. Second place, you get 26 for Hutson, 96 for Wolf, 61 for Celebrini. Third place votes, like, what are we doing here? 26 for Hutson, 59 for Wolf, 106 for Celebrini, 26 third place votes for Michkov. Michkov gets 151 fourth place votes. Now listen, call me crazy, okay? Like, legitimately, go ahead and call me crazy. This is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And if you want to try to make the case that Michkov shouldn't have won it, right? You want to make the case that Hutson, because he plays defense, should have, I don't know, been the number 1 guy. Fine. I don't totally agree with it, but fine. But I'm sorry, man. Like, Celebrini, the argument had been that Celebrini had played fewer games than Michkov. But if you look at total minutes, I think Michkov and Celebrini were very close. The argument's been made, well, Michkov is a winger. We're going to value centers, we're going to value defensemen, we're going to value goalies more than a winger. Okay, so now, because he can't control his position because he plays wing, he's apparently not good enough. I just don't totally know. Michkov had, what, 63 points on the season, 25 goals? Wasn't he 18 when the season, or he was 19 when the season started? I don't know, man. Call me crazy, right? But Michkov was second among rookies in points. And he's 4th in voting for the Calder. I don't know. Make it make sense. Michkov didn't exactly, by the way, Michkov didn't exactly do anything wrong this season, right? He was benched a few times. He was scratched a few times. All of that's fine. All of that's fair. Can have the argument about whether or not that's a good thing. Can have the argument about whether John Tortorella's decision-making might have cost Michkov the Calder. You can do that whole thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be a total jackass here. But I do think that there's a chance that it affected where he ultimately finished. And I think that, once again, if you're looking at total games played, total minutes, maybe you could try to make the case that Michkov shouldn't have won it. But, like, I don't know. Like, what are we doing here? Legitimately, like, what are we doing? Reed DeFord has the actual point. This is the truth. It's politics. If he was born in Canada, it would have been unanimous. I've been long joking, but if his name had been like Matvei Michkov, and he was from Montréal, il parle français, québécois, il aime le poutine. Then, I don't know, if Matvei had been French, would he have won the Calder? I don't know. If he had played for les Habitants de Montréal, would he have been the Rookie of the Year, the Calder? I don't know. Je ne sais pas. But what I do know is that because his name is Matvei Michkov, and he is from Russia, and the Canadian media do not like the Russian player, Matvei, number 4. This is a crock of shit. This is crock of very bad borscht. Okay, this is not good. I don't know what we're doing here. In fairness, Matvei Michkov probably should have been somewhere around number 2, maybe number 3. But number 4? That is a load of number 2, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying it is shit. Okay, so, is there voter bias? Is there an anti-Russian voter bias? Methinks, yeah. I'm thinking, yeah. Now, there is another bit of news around Michkov. And I mentioned Hockey News Hub before. And Hockey News Hub, I think, is the one who broke this news. Certainly put it out on Twitter first. So, again, I give the shout-out to Hockey News Hub, who, again, is typically at the forefront of a lot of the info around KHL players. So we're going to continue to give Hockey News Hub credit until something goes horribly awry. But this is the interesting thing. So there is going to be a Russian NHL Stars versus KHL Stars game July 13th at the CSKA Arena in Moscow. And if you look at the lineup of players, it's an impressive one. So this NHL All-Star team is going to have the likes of Ovechkin, Panarin, Shesterkin, Orlov, Nishkinen, Svechnikov. I mean, you have a lot of very, very good players on this team. Oh, by the way, Kuzmenko's on this team. He of former Flyers fame. But, like, you look at this team, there are a lot of talented guys. Oh, Bob is supposed to be there, too. Now, how that's going to work out after the Cup final, I don't know, but he's apparently supposed to be there. Kaprizov, future Flyer, will also be playing. Ilya Kovalchuk, or what's left of him, will be playing. But look at the last name for the NHL team, Matvei Michkov. Now, I know that I've been saying this for a while, and I know I mentioned this on Monday, but what you're going to start to see, and I am very confident in this, what you are going to start to see is that Matvei Michkov is going to ultimately be a massive recruiting asset for the Philadelphia Flyers. Like, I am very confident in it, right? Because even if you want to believe the smoke around Shabanov and whether or not he's going to be a Flyer, most people that have tried to make that leap did so on the back of Michkov following Shabanov on Instagram, Shabanov following Michkov. You look at the kind of season that he put up as a rookie. You look at the kind of upward trajectory that you very much could believe he'll have if he actually gets to play with a real center, like a real able-bodied center that can keep up with him and is skilled enough and all that. If he gets to play with one of those guys, he can make a 20-point leap next year. He could jump 20 points. Be an 80-point guy next year. Based on what we saw this season, based on a very ineffective power play, he still was able to put up points. Totally within the a rational realm that he could get to 80 points next year. So you start to look at that, and you look at his age. You look at a few of the other pieces on this team. You look at, again, the cap space that opens up this offseason, but especially next offseason. If there is a Russian player available, the Flyers have established that pipeline. They have established a pathway to Flyers land, okay? And they're saying, come on over. Bring yourself over, man. Ivan Fedotov, come on down. Alexei Kolosov, I guess, come on down. Matvei Michkov, out of his contract early, which he negotiated with the team. Flyers had nothing to do with it because they're not allowed to talk to the KHL team. We all know this. Matvei Michkov, come on down. If Shabanov ends up over here, come on down. Having this pipeline set up, having this understanding that Russian players are being actively sought after by these Philadelphia Flyers is a good thing. And Michkov, as this young star, this young Russian star, his star is going to continue to grow and is going to continue to get even brighter. I mean, Ovechkin is very close to retirement. I'm not saying that Michkov is automatically going to become like the number one Russian-born player in the NHL in like the next 3 years, but there is a very easy case to be made that he could be one of the focal points of a Russian Olympic team if they're ever allowed back in the Olympics. That's the kind of guy that you want at the forefront of your organization recruiting players in. And he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a competitive fire burning within. That's the kind of guy that you want on your team. That's the kind of guy that you want out in front of free agents and trying to recruit players. I think it's going to end up actually mattering a lot.